Alright, hello, and welcome to the Sharptitch 5th anniversary stream. I have compiled the most notable projects in Sharptitch's career, and I would hope to, discuss about it and chill out. So, welcome everyone, and today is like a really great day to, get up on and start speaking, I guess. Alright? So, in this stream, we'll be discussing the most notable projects in order of debut, so we can get a little history lesson on how the projects came to be, and, well, it's really complicated. So it all started back in 2018 when I was 13 years old. I discovered a software known as Blender, and started off using 2.79, yeah, the era before Blender became user-friendly. But despite the user unfriendliness, I'd looked up a decent amount of tutorials, and I always prioritized making stories and letting out ideas into lengthy feature productions and trying to push the limits of what I'm capable of doing and what brought me here to begin with. For starters, you'd probably see a lot of Killer Bean influences because that's basically my main inspiration to do animation. Killer Bean Forever is like one of the most influential movies to me because, one guy actually did, make a movie all by himself, and primarily, it's quite insane how he actually got this far, and I figured, I actually wanted to be like him, I'd be able to make my own movies and become established person myself. And there's also like some inspirations, like, Inanimate Insanity, Pam Tree's videos, Madness Combat, to name a few. But of course, we can't get to like the serious stuff without like going to the very first of the videos. So yeah, that's Blue Cube Adventures right here. So let's start off with Blue Cube Adventures. Okay, so Blue Cube Adventures is my first animation project, and it's quite an oddball to say the least because, for starters, I barely knew how to, make characters, and a blue cube is what I essentially came up with. So back then I was actually part of the object show community, and I want to make my own object show. So this is like the first idea that came up to mind. Looked up BFDI assets as references, like the legs, the arms, and just slap it onto the Blender default cube, and essentially that's basically how the blue cube has been invented. By the way, his actual canon name is Billy B. Blumen, as confirmed in the reboot. I know reboots and canon, the original canon aren't the same, but that's what his name is going to be, Billy B. Blumen. And then he's like fighting against an armada of multicolored cubes. He's a hunted man on the run, and you know what it is? Tax evasion, yeah. So essentially, he has to run away to a desert city, and yeah, it's pretty simple. And the thing is about Blue Cube Adventures is that it's like relatively short. It's not meant to be like very long, so. Yeah, it's only like 3 episodes, and they span through like barely a minute, 2 minutes, and 3 minutes and a half. And I never really wrote a script for Blue Cube Adventures to begin with, so yeah, so like the story is completely made up and completely improvised. So why don't we go ahead and start looking at Blue Cube Adventures? Okay, and change the screen. Okay, let's go. Oh! Okay, so yeah, that's basically Blue Cube Adventures right here. And okay, forgive me if I'm looking at the chat. For starters, it's a relatively simple plot. Guy gets shot, and that's it. Okay, but I thought it was like relatively too simple, so let's head over to its sequel. I mean, a second episode.
Low fuel.
Gerald, one of your employees is watching right now. Hello, Goostic. Real jump scare. Yeah, that's basically 15-year-old me, 14-year-old me actually voicing that line. Is it even considered I'm making fan art for the Blue Cube, Mr. Blue Cube now. I love object shows. Oh boy, this isn't really an object show, but you all know that the next one is going to definitely be an object show. Okay, so basically this is a little bit of an improvement from like the previous episode. So for starters, I wanted a little bit more action, so I added more action. I'd say the least. I know that sounds a little too obvious, but I add. Okay, so the first thing I had in mind is that the blue cube has to be confronted by a gang of other cubes, and I thought they would need a cool car to like go out there and start doing bad guy stuff, you know. And I think that, you know, having a fancy car for them is like definitely going to add the villainy factor and all. By the way, don't worry for you car guys. It's not a quadrifolio model. It's a regular Alfa Romeo Giulia. But anyways, yeah, that's a bit of an improvement from like, you know, the last one, because it actually had somewhat of a plot. But then again, it's still improvised, and yeah, it's also somewhat my most popular video at the time I uploaded it. So whenever there's something that's like somewhat good, there's always got to be a follow-up.
This is breaking news here. There's a recent shootout this afternoon, 4 p.m.
Yeah, this is really terrible lighting, I gotta admit. Oh yeah, did you know that I also planned on having traffic vehicles be involved in the mix too? Yeah, this was removed because I didn't have enough time for traffic vehicles, and they were like, and like making cars is not as easy as I thought it was, you know, back then. So Kevin MacLeod music goes really hard though. why you should do this. Good one. Yes, I put a tank here. Don't ask me why 14-year-old me thought this was like, you know, supposed to be there, but hey, logically it is. Yeah, that's pretty much how I describe myself. That's it. Anyways, that's Blue Cube Adventures for y'all. I actually planned for there to be like a fourth installment where he goes in the city, and it's like sleeping in his hotel room, and then all of a sudden he has to John Wick his way out of the hotel because like all the blue cubes inside there want him because he's evading because of his high bounty for tax evasion. And but unfortunately, that didn't really come through because Highway Rage wasn't really a success. It's like only 512 views and only 2 likes. So I decided to call off Billy B Blumen's his arc from this episode completely ended right here, and I decided to move on to something a little more interesting. So let's get over to Code Mercenary. Yes, you heard me right. The first ever 3D animated object show. At least at the time, yeah. I mean, it is. I mean, by the most of the object show community, it was coined as the first ever 3D animated object show, and essentially, this is basically like I want to try something new and definitely wanted to start something groundbreaking. I wanted to create like an object show that incorporates 3D elements, but not only that, give like action, giving it the cool vibe, the cool mercenary vibes and all, and essentially have them like do mercenary stuff and go crazy with it. So how did I come up with Code Mercenary? So it's relatively simple. Killer Bean Forever has this one scene, about the mercenaries, and they go out of the way to boast about, their rewards and how cool they are and all that kind of stuff. The thing is, though, is that they were so cool despite, them dying so easily. And I took this mercenary aspect with very little mind about, what mercenaries are, and decided to like turn them into like a heroic force fighting against clones of enemies known as the Red Hawk Empire. And by the way, the faction is called the faction is called the Multinational Anti-Opposition Force. But like that sounds a little bit like too much, I guess, or is it a little too much? Maybe. Oh yeah, by the way, I actually made a trailer for it, and it actually made it into the object show community's ObjectCon, and that was like honestly one of the most notable moments of this channel's career so far. Let me show you it real quick before I showcase episode 1. Right. Okay. Oh yeah, there's screen. Let's go. Yeah, okay, so this disclaimer is here because kids and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I stated it here because the target audience is set up like this. It's a setup, and I didn't want it to end up like Object Terror or or the Object Show movie like being complained on because it's too gory. So
Rise and shine, Commander Night Vision Goggles. Rise and shine.
large literally means
Who are
large
you?
force to
How
kill
do you know
enemies.
my
Yeah,
name?
it's them.
And why am
Yeah,
I
it basically
here?
describes them.
Don't worry why and when you got into a coma. You should worry about our current state of our world. You seemed worried? That's what I thought. I know how you feel, but since I'm here for you, I hired 10
This
men
is
of
basically a
arms.
G-Man ripoff.
But I must tell you, there are mortal souls who can defeat our enemy. You have the greatest control to them. I hope you do the goods with them to destroy the invaders of the world. Now wake up, Commander Night Vision Goggles. Wake up.
And so that is the Objicon trailers, and yeah, so how I created this trailer is pretty simple. I had to come up with like a lot of scenarios where the mercenaries and the mercenaries' backstories and how they managed to become the way they are, and how they even got hired by Night Vision Goggles. So so essentially this is like their origin stories and how they came to be in a world where clones have taken over the world and essentially are there to do heinous stuff. Anyways, so not only that, we got the first ever trailer, and okay, switch over to slideshow. Oh. Okay, so we got the first Objicon trailer, and yeah, it's pretty like bare bones and bare bones and like a good start for sure, but it gets a little better as we go to the real stuff. Okay, and for the sake of this presentation, we will be skipping other kinds of trailers because, well, they pretty much showcase the final product, which is like already like there, and the final product is, well, right in our hands. So let's get started with the first Code Mercenary episode. Oh yeah, fun fact: there was originally going to be a guy with an AWM shooting down the cargo, shooting down like the plane that's carrying the mercenaries, but unfortunately the blend file has crashed and it ended up deleting the guy with the AWM. Rest in peace, my guy. You will be missed. Anyways, let's get started.
Hello, you can call me Butterfly Knife. I am a member of Code
Yep, that's
Mercenary.
Rebecca.
And before we get to the video, I just want to make things clear. It contains like a bloody material, and if you're pretty kind of like a mature subject matter, or if you're too sensitive, like not for the faint of heart, you might want to click off the episode, including this video. With that being said, please enjoy. Ta-ta!
Do you spot anything yet? No. Keep going.
Threat detected. Attack!
I have absolutely no idea what I was thinking when you know, like the pipe wrench is shooting a P90 like at an enemy who's really far away.
Attention all personnel.
Yep, that's the characters. And there's the bad guys. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the only Code Mercenary episode with intros. I thought the intros were like a little unnecessary, but and again, I'm trying to like strive to be different than Code Mercenary. Look at those bubble physics. I mean, foam physics, yeah. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea why I wrote this, even though like it's not an I mean, though I declared it to not be like use conventional option show system, the conventional survivor system, where it's like you get like one person gets eliminated every episode. This absolutely makes no sense because I completely like scrapped off that feature because it was pointless.
Hey you, how come you get the teleport here and we go up the stairs?
Because it is my duty to have you go up the stairs in the final exercise. And I go up here to record how long it takes for you to go up the stairs. Next time, don't ask questions until I say so. Clear enough?
Whatever.
Bayonet, sit down. You're taking a precious time off.
British accents, I tried. Oh boy. There's like a lot of
Alright.
stuff that I'm not proud of in this like presentation, but that's okay.
glad you made it and survived from Brass Whistle. Now we have a mission in Brazil where an airbase is in full possession of Red Hawks. What you need to do is to attack the Red Hawk infested base and let the Brazilians retake control of the base. If we don't stop them soon, they'll use the airbase to utilize the Red Hawk network, and they'll send in more units to eventually take over the Americas piece by piece.
Simple.
Okay.
We will dismiss you in a giant teleportation room where you'll be transported to a nearby aircraft carrier.
Yes. Yes, this is the first location that I had in mind. Brazil.
Now you're here, you'll need your weapons.
Okay, this one I gotta admit, this sequence is still my favorite to this very day. It looks really cool, and I mean it is like a bit unnecessary, but I like it a lot.
Wow.
Here are some rules. 1. Only one object is allowed on the teleportation pods due to some recent incident of experiments with the teleportation system. It is quite unstable, but don't worry, it works.
Look at all these teleporters. It only gets way better when the teleportation sequence is set.
Alright everyone, I hope you're ready in your pods.
Why
We're
is
starting
one
a
of them-
teleportation system.
Why is one of them the Switzerland flag? He's meant to be a generic med kit. Well, I mean, I get that a lot back then, and I thought it was like interesting, say the least. Med kit's Brazilian, by the way. But yeah, no worries, you're good. Okay, this has got to be the coolest thing ever.
Hey, over here. We're about to start the plane in about a few minutes, alright? Come on and get in the plane right now.
Conveniently placed right next to the continent.
We have a bit of an issue. We are attacked by these rats. I suggest you pack up right now. I repeat, pack up right now and jump off the plane as soon as I open the door.
Is that a plane or a helicopter? I can't tell. Let me remind you about vertical takeoff and landing technology. Basically, it's a plane, but it could be able to, like, like change the mode on, like, if it could become like somewhat like a helicopter. It's basically an osprey, but its wings like can be like tilted, say the least. Oh boy, here comes the most unrealistic moment. Yep, water makes him survive, and his parachute failed. Okay, in reality, I had no idea how to create a parachute animation, so I decided to make this like the first thing that happens. Piranhas, am I right?
Did you pull the pin on the plug by your net?
I was trying to. It failed.
You're so lucky to be saved, though.
Lucky? You should have noticed my leg!
Out of any time? You hurt yourself at the beginning of this mission?
Already?
Already in the first mission? How much worse can it be?
I don't know. I could deny it.
Why are we slacking off? Let's move on to the mission.
Okay.
Since we're just walking here, probably nothing else happening, we might have the time to, introduce ourselves. We don't really know each other, right? My name's Bayonet, or Carson Smith.
My name is Medikit, or Axel Bravado.
Well then, my name is Uzi, or Darcy Burger.
The name's Boot, or Gravoroshovsky.
Call me Binoculars, or a Taurus affair.
My name is Katana, or Hiro Yamakaze.
Refer me as Butterfly Knight. I'm Elise Havisham.
Sunglasses doesn't want to speak. His name is Dane Walsh.
My name is Rido Talka, or Levin Heinrichs.
Just call me Canteen, but my name's Mayor Cromwell.
Okay, looking back at this scene, it just felt a little awkward because originally I was going to intend to include the militaries that these guys used to work for, but I never really did any of my proper research, and it might come off as like opening a can of worms, so I decided to scrap it off. But essentially, like, these guys' backstories, I was planning to expand on them as the episodes go, but unfortunately I scrapped off Code Mercenary, so, well, we never really truly get to see what their characters are mostly like.
Okay, so about the behaviors of the Red Hawk soldiers. If one gets provoked, it will send a message to the server it's linked to. And then the rest of the Red Hawk soldiers who are also linked to that same server will know that we're here. So we must pick them off one by one so that they won't suspect a thing.
Literally NPC behavior.
Oh, can you get off?
Katana, are you okay?
Yeah, I am.
Oh boy, first fight scene. Let's go!
Oh no.
Fire at will!
Okay, so this is basically a Barrett 50 cal, and I don't know why it's literally made to fire the same stuff a Remington 700 uses. This legit only injured Katana. If I actually researched how strong a Barrett 50 cal is, it would have been a lot worse. Katana would have been dead by the moment. But for the sake of 15-year-old me, he didn't. Oh yeah, this music is also composed by Rebecca K. Luneta. She was really talented when she was like working. She was like working with me for Code Mercenary. Yeah, yeah, she really liked this project a lot. So there's a lot of talent that goes in there. A lot of her talent. Damn. Oh yeah, by the way, okay, so you noticed like the little like cracks on this watchtower. It's not as easy to see here. Yeah, right here. Originally the watchtower is actually going to crumble to pieces, but unfortunately, I really wasn't well versed on like cell fracture and rigid body physics. Like I only know I wasn't like basic knowledge on like rigid body physics back then. So the watchtower cracking and like turning to smoke never happened. But however, and that's the first fight scene.
Nice one, binoculars.
Been planning that for ages.
Okay, now search the area.
I'll take a this, that. Ooh, maybe some this. Is that the entire golden revolver? Oh, hell yeah. A holy hand grenade. Oh, I fuck with that.
Potato Sapien really did like improvise these lines. Like I thought it was like really interesting. The golden revolver part, not called for, but I like it a lot.
Good, we don't have to get everything from this campground. We just only got the stuff we need to fight the monsters.
Well, what if we don't have enough for all of us?
What I'm trying to say is that you don't need all of the ammo, grenades, and supplies. We might lose them all anyways.
Hey guys, I'm done. Let's get the boat running.
Everyone, come over here after you get your supplies. We aren't wasting 1,000 years over you slacking off.
Deleted scene moment. So basically, there was gonna be a scene where like the boat is like going through the river passageway, and then they get jumped by a bunch of Red Hawk gorillas who attempt to like kill them while they are like going on the boat, and then like the boat like gets destroyed because there's another boat pursuing them. Yeah, I scrapped that idea because of time constraints and the fact that it just because like now the way how I see it right now is like it's honestly odd since like the Red Hawks really don't know that they're like coming after them, and if they were, they'd be like in full pursuit against them. So, and in the next scene, the Red Hawks weren't really aware of the perpetrators as of right now. Okay, time for a little liberation. This is the main base, by the way. Okay, this right here is the case guy that we had last saw in the ObjectCon trailer. There, you don't see it that much, but he's eating a sandwich over there, just chilling. Dead. No big surprise.
Alright, get yourself situated. Me, Boot, Bayonet, and Medkit will storm the base first, before the rest of you all get in. Then, Butterfly Knife and Katana will shoot down and slice up the other Red Hawks, along with our 2 engineers, Canteen and Radio Talker in the second section of the base. Sunglasses and binoculars. You stay together far from enemy proximity to call off the remaining Red Hawks.
Time's up! Let's go! Shot!
He did not just run at the field.
Leroy Jenkins reference. Simplest vehicle destruction ever.
What in the world are these idiots thinking about? It's been a while and yet no one came out of there. Here it comes! They know where we are!
Out of 10 explosion, Tana. 10 out of 10 explosion. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Binoculars, sunglasses, are you two safe?
We are fine. We knew that you just saved us from danger. These idiots are too hard to handle when they're all over you.
We're glad you're safe. Calm down and we can finish this mission all together.
Do what she says, sunglasses.
Sundown. I'm almost done drawing my French fighter. Oh cool, do definitely send it in my Discord server. I'd be happy to see it.
So what do? We destroyed their main source of transporting their goods and communication in the Americas.
We're going back to home base.
Apologies, but signal to night vision goggles not found.
Radio Talker hasn't gotten a feature to communicate with our commander. You know we could get out if we use the radio before we destroy the building, but either way, the radio tower is wired to the Red Hawk Empire, and we destroyed that.
Damn it, why haven't I thought of that?
I suppose we should get our army to get us back. Besides, they might have a better communication system there.
What army?
The Brazilian army, what else?
Yeah. Don't scrutinize me. I thought this is how manuals work.
Who the hell are you guys? What do you want from us?
It's good, don't worry. I didn't do anything to betray you guys.
Medkit? It's been 4 days since we didn't see you. Who are they? They seem like they're not us.
They're my new colleagues and allies. We are the multinational anti-opposition force. We're new to this world. As an organization, don't worry, we're on the same team. And we work with militaries all over the world, stopping Red Hawks on their tracks.
Okay, we trust you. We're heading back to base. What do you want from us?
We're going back to home base. We definitely need your help in taking us to your base for the communication.
Well, we have strong communications with the organization. We'll try our best to get them to us.
No, not this again.
Those rats! We're getting stalked in the base. We must fight.
Minigun. ABC intended. And yeah, this is the final batch of enemies. Don't forget the guy in the beret with the Spaz 12. And yes, at the time, the Spaz 12 was the most detailed gun I've ever made. Chef Katana is definitely like... Okay, so primarily Katana's move is like mostly inspired by the indie game Katana Zero, and yeah, and it's also like deemed like one of the coolest scenes like by my community at the time.
That's the end of the Red Hawks and waiting for now. Come on.
Something about these scenes, you're like, you watch the aftermath of you look at the aftermath of, the entire battlefield right after, like, everything happened. Okay. It just kind of gives out a different feeling of, like, wow, that much damage. And that was what I was thinking about when I was, like, making this scene. It gave me a different feeling that I didn't know I had.
Hello? Who is this?
We did everything you commanded us to do. It's a success. Now, can you send us back to base?
We're sending in a Hydra to where you are. Hold on tight and don't go anywhere else. We did it. We won our first mission. Yeah! Alright, that's enough.
Fun fact: this is the only time where I actually got all the voice actors together, and what we did in Discord VC was cheer. Like, it was one of the most touching moments, because back then almost all the VAs know each other, and they pretty much enjoyed their roles as much as I made the whole entire presentation. It's pretty awesome. And that's officially code Mercenary, the first episode at least. Now for the most part, let me show you like what the second episode looks like right here. Okay. And that's second episode. That's pretty much what it looks like. But the thing is though is that I felt like the second episode is just straight up filler, and it actually took more than 30 minutes, like 40 minutes to say the least. And I really did not feel happy about the third episode at least, because it actually did quite poorly in terms of like my expectations and all, and it's pretty much rushed because it had a really troubled production. But nonetheless, I still strived on to okay. The thing is though is that object shows aren't really as popular anymore, aside from the most popular object shows so far. And with that also adding to that is the rigs are really painful to work on. So let me tell you a clear story right here. So basically, the rigs. Okay, so let me use like an example right here. Okay, turn to the screen. Okay, so for the old characters right here, the rigs are literally separate bones, like they're separate objects. And to move the entire character, I have to like go out of edit mode pose mode and legit move the like the parent mesh, and ain't like legit had to like go through like this, like step 2 goes through like this, goes through like this, and then move like the roots parts of it. Like I had to go through like this process all the time, like animating all of the characters in Code Mercenary, and I felt like this process is extremely tiring. So I moved on to a rig that actually works for me, which is like all the bones put together, and like it simply works like a human skeleton. Like I can move the legs, move the waist, move the arms as intended, and not have to go. And I'm still in edit mode. I stopped animating object characters and moved on to like something that's like more organized and less messy. Is there any models for naked Roblox girls, preferably in Alpha 1? Bro, you are so down bad. I cannot like legit tell you, you are down bad. Well, I mean like there's gonna be like clothing like animations, like the clothes are actually going to, you know, have some movement, because Bravo 2 is definitely going to be like a step up from Alpha 1. So like this is like the only thing I'm going to leak about Bravo 2. That's the only thing I'm going to leak about Bravo 2. But anyways, as I was saying, so Code Mercenary was cancelled. It's not because like I wanted it to be cancelled. It's because I lost interest in it in general, and the object shows. Like I actually wanted to strive for something else. And the one thing's for sure is that, are there any breaths or breast motion or physics? Does it look like I want to animate that? Preferably no. Anyways, okay, so Code Mercenary was canned, and I decided to move on to something that you all have came here for. Typical Colors 2. So let's go to the story of Typical Colors, how I made Typical Colors 2 animations. It's honestly quite the story. So I was trying to think of a way to be able to move on from like making object show stuff and to going to Roblox. And it's also because like people tell me that my animations look like they came out of Roblox, and I actually took it as like a compliment, and I moved on to Roblox stuff. So pretty much I became a Roblox YouTuber now, a Roblox animator YouTuber, and I primarily focus on Typical Colors 2 for now, and it's really much my most popular content, to say the least. So how do we get here? Well, it's simple. Reanimations exist, and like there's a lot of Team Fortress 2 animations that, you know, are based on like existing audio and stuff, but it's also not uncommon to see TF2 audio on TF2 audio being used in a Typical Colors 2 animation. So essentially that's what I went for as of like right now, and that's what I went for at the time, and I can show you where we have started off. So by the way, any of you know my first Roblox animation, then yeah, then it's pretty clear like where it's all going to go to. Okay, let me get rid of all of the stuff in my queue real quick. Okay, 2 Typical Colors 2. Here we go. Right there, and there. There's actually like 3 things I made out of Typical Colors 2. So let's start off with the first one.
Seduce me.
Thank you for the $2.
You.
Nice.
Seduce me.
Cow's Core, thank you for the $2. Nice project.
What? Spy, I ain't gonna...
Seduce me!
Right. Okay. Okay. Hey there, good looking. I got a bucket of chicken.
I am not one of your fried chicken buffoons. You are a gentleman. You let your women captivating, smoldering. You want to be my lover? Earn it! Seduce me!
Okay, so let's talk for a few things. Alright, so I want to be like my own take as well as the typical colors like equivalent of the Seduce Me scene from, of course, Expiration Date. So, the only things I did change were like, you know, the green themed like objects, and especially I modeled the rose over here, and as well as the fact that, well, it's pretty clear to say the least. Okay, Flanker uses Scout voice, Agent uses Femme Spy's voice, and I use the dealer dummy to like represent her vision of what Flanker should be for his date. Anyways, that's all I have to say for this one, and this next one is like, yeah, it's primarily like a showcase.
Good job! That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah!
Got it. Quite impressive.
Your work has not gone unnoticed. Sure, lad. Affirmative. Move up, fellas. Come on now, fellas. Move up.
So the rest of okay, for you guys, I want you to vote on the chat. Would you guys want to see like the full like tour of the bunker, or we just go straight ahead to like the magnum opus of Sharp Edge, Mechpocalypse Now? All right, but before we go for that, let's talk about like how I conceptualized the whole thing. So this is basically a step up of like me making cars in general, and the thing is like, I actually based off like the characters' vehicles on a Reddit post, like primarily basing off like what kind of vehicles the typical Colors 2 cast would drive. So okay, let me try to like recap on what each the vehicle choices I chose. So so Mechanic. So he was okay. So in the Reddit post, Mechanic drives a DeLorean, but I wanted to go for like a retro modern tone, since like typical Colors 2 follows that kind of principle. And for the Reddit post, I went for a Mustang Shelby, which is essentially tuned up to be, you know, to function like the Back to the Future DeLorean. Annihilator drives the Volkswagen Beetle with a Porsche influence. By the way, it's based on the new Beetle rather than the old one. This one is actually like a reused model, and it's a Jeep from like my scrapped animated series Decennium. Okay, so Agent obviously has a taste in Italian cars, like the exotic ones, and I went for Lamborghini Countach. Ambulance for like a doctor, obviously. Brute riding a bike, obviously. And the most interesting one. Okay. And the most interesting one is that I went to like exaggerate the camper van, as Marksman is American, and like Sniper from Team Fortress 2 drives a camper van. So what if Marksman, typical Colors 2, drives a camper truck? Yeah, essentially Americanizing the thing, to say the least. Alright, let's move over to, like, the tour. Actually, let me just skim... Okay, let's actually skim through the whole thing. Yeah, this is basically, like, my modeling, like... This is basically, like, to practice modeling. And to, like, you know... And most of the assets are primarily assisted from, like, you know, the typical Colors 2 Reddit Discord server, like, live VCs, and a lot of, like, members of the typical Colors 2 VC had, like, expressed, you know, the kind of things that, you know, the TC2 mercs would be, like, comfortable with. So I went with the ideas they told me. Golden frying pan. Lots and lots of frying pans. Keep. Weapons. The secret weapon rack. Okay. That's the button. Yeah, in case if you don't know, I sped up the songs intentionally because, like, since 2 times speed, we're like skimming through this non-stop. I mean, we are gonna stop eventually, but we're skimming through this. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so a little story on this one. So this base has a PS4, a PS5, an Xbox Series X, and a Nintendo Switch, and they had created a controller that supports all 3 consoles. Okay, I wish I could go a little faster. Video games. Whoops. Sink and the meat. I thought it was like pretty fun to do that. We can't forget, okay, delinquent. We can't forget the delinquent, like, figurine, as well as, like, cool stuff. Reference to Brute's Roblox toy. Annihilator's Battle Collection. They're not the same battles, you bloody twat! I should like pipe down a bit right now. Lots of staffers, a bunch of trophies. Yes, we can't forget the dealer dummy from Seduce Me. Yeah. Yeah, this, totally real degrees. I don't know, fanon lore, I guess. Wait, I skipped out on this picture. Yep, like the entire team photo. If only I had taken a look at it closer. Okay, so fun fact, I actually did not know where the model of the gym was from, like the Seduce Me video, and yeah, so I had to remake the whole thing on Scratch. Go shoot some kids. Yep, just can't shoot. Nothing much interesting here, it's just like a bunch of boxes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's like the mini sentries guarding the most important item inside, the intelligence. Alright, there's a trooper's car, mechanic's car, agent's car. It's imported from Great Britain. Okay, there's Annihilator's car. Okay, so this is basically an edited model of the Biker's Blitz. Turned it into an actual motorcycle. Alright, we're getting out of here, fellas. Oh yeah, by the way, this blend file is like free to download, and you're able to like do whatever the heck you want in there. And so yeah, that's pretty much like a gift that I've like sent out for like 2 years straight, and yeah, feel free to download the blend file if you guys want it. Now, okay, so where's the inspiration? What's the inspiration to make Green's bunker? Well, let's just say the Smiling Friends break room. Yeah. Like the Smiling Friends break room felt like a really cozy place, and I actually thought about animating a scene of Smiling Friends, like inside the green base with the characters like voicing over the audio, which was scrapped because I eventually got to go work on the biggest magnum opus of Sharp Edge. Alright, take two. We gotta slow this down.
Just again, a giant purple carrier tank the size of a skyscraper is going on a terror spree to various places of this country. According to some travelers, the carrier is heading to Boundary and a possible approach kids in the Finger Company location in the area.
Imagine using yourself as a way to conduct lightning to power the very creations that are made to destroy anything in sight. Like, this honestly is like the hardest scene. This is like the hardest moment I ever made in the entirety of Sharp Edge history.
Oh boy.
Okay, so how did I come up with this idea? Well, it's simple. Pretty much like Man vs. Machine, but interpreted in typical colors too. This was actually made way after the April Fool's event that happened a while ago. And yeah, it's basically like an interpretation of Man vs. Machine, but zombies, because the original used the zombies as like the enemies instead of the robots. You can clearly notice that I actually gave like all these robotic zombies. Is there a better word to call them? Cyber zombies, enhanced zombies, or anything like that. But anyways, these guys have been like enhanced to where they could be not only like act like they're ready to fight, but they can somewhat exhibit like humanly emotion. Like, for example, yeah, that's one way to make them stand out from the robots. Anyways, and the one other like detail that I forgot to show off is the fact that all of these are okay. So basically, I came up with a little headcanon that, you know, the corpses of the TC2 mercs had the reason why they disappear like so quickly is because Man Mechanic actually collected them and is like reusing them to turn them into like the zombies. So someone literally asked that, and I decided to literally respond. So that's why the corpses disappear so quickly. Okay, so that's typical colors 2 for ya, and as of right now, I didn't really have a lot of interest in typical colors 2 right now, and it's highly unlikely that there will be another typical colors 2 animation like in the future. But nonetheless, it is like the one thing that propelled like Sharp Edge to like more than where it was in the Outro era. And okay, so let me get my good friend Hispanic Communist here, because, well, we are very welcome to enjoy those $2 when you want to live stream call. All right, Alright, so let's like get our special friend, Hispanic Communist. Okay, let's go over to ISIL Alpha 1. Welcome to IL Alpha 1, part of the IL Prelude universe, and is like legit like the current project I am working on right now. And I'm currently getting Hispanic Communist on the line, so let's wait for him for a second. I hope he's like not out for a second. Oh, and okay, he's like out right now. So let's go on a little recap about like the whole thing. So I was asked, okay, so at the time Hispanic Communist was named Cesnis, and he went to my DMs and asked me, hey, can you make a animation based on this game? And at the time I did not know what IL is, so he decided he would go out his way to like introduce me to IL, and it ended up becoming like one of like the greatest the greatest ambitions I ever had in terms of like projects, and it ended up becoming what I'm doing right now. And okay, maybe after the presentation we'll get on Hispanic Communists on the line. So okay, ISIL Alpha 1, perhaps the longest and most heavily worked on project in the entirety of the Sharp Edge career. Okay, sorry my English was broken for a bit. I'm really excited, honestly. Screen.
Well, Max, I'm sure you know what being a hero feels like, right?
Yes, Daddy.
You see, being a part of the most prestigious mercenary squad, it's not going to be rainbows and unicorns out in the field. I've been fighting with blood and sweat through the forests, the deserts, prison facilities, and islands. No matter who or what's coming after you, you take one measure and rip them apart with your bare hands.
How bad was it in these places?
Very bad. But once you go out and embrace the beauty of danger, it'll be a thrill of a lifetime. It wouldn't be the same without my best friend and the spirit warrior of the team.
Axton!
As we call him, Gunner, is always full of bravado with his machine gun, always tearing apart the bandits and brutes as he held the trigger. He's badass prodigy.
Yeah! The legend! So tell me, do I get to see Axton at the range soon?
Tomorrow, right after school, son. And I heard about sometime he would like to have a son like you someday. Just wanted to let you know that.
Yeah. I miss you, Dad.
Max, are you okay?
Yes, sir. Okay, this is like honestly one of the most grounding moments that I've ever written. Basically, Maxwell is like reciting on like when his dad first took him to this very place and told him about all the cool things that he did back then. Such a like insightful thing, really, and he definitely always remembers it whenever he's around here. Oh yeah, by the way, these fellas here is from like 2023's April Fools when I asked people, hey, you want to be part of IL Alpha 1? Well, you're part of IL Alpha 1 if you're selected. So, so let's go by order on who's who. So this guy is Wanted Parts. This guy is Jaigo. This guy is me. Well, my classic avatar, actually. Captain Clone. And Black Hole in the Bottle.
Yeah, sweetie. I'll be back home once I get this job done. Sure as hell looks like the island of Hicks abandoned a while ago. Might need to.
Attention, signs of violent activity are detected at main deck. Report security. Please report to designated area immediately.
Oh, and we're out of viewer budget. Yeah. So for right now, that's IL Alpha 1, and so far, it's pretty much like the most recent project so far, and my most ambitious, and yeah, y'all have watched this, like, pretty much. And I really can't explain so much about it, but that's all I'm going to say right here. Anyways, unfortunately, because we're out of viewer budget, we're going to have to call the stream right here, and pretty much it's like a really good run for like all 5 years of Sharp Edge. Yeah, thank you all for coming in, and it's been like very, very fruitful. Oh, Nick, you just joined in? Oh, hello, Nick. I just got here, lol. Alright, anyways, fellas, it's been... Okay, so fellas, it's really great to see y'all come here and, you know, support me throughout all this time, and... Okay, it's... Okay, but before we go, you guys want to get Hispanic communists to do an interview? And all this kind of stuff? Okay, I'm the only one here. Well, thanks for sticking around to me, Bob Jr. Anyways, okay, so, yeah. Okay, so, yeah. It's been, like, 5 years of Sharp Edge. Isn't, like, there's, like, a lot of progress that I have put in throughout this whole time. It all started with just me like finding out a program, and then I decided, hey, I'm gonna make a movie. I'm gonna make some movies, and it's gotten really far to where like I went on to make an entire like half an hour long episode that's like considerably the first 3D animated object show, all the way to like making like one of the most like different takes of like Team Fortress 2 media, as well as making fan like stuff, and going all the way to making an IL movie. Pretty much like it's one of the progresses of all time. Okay, 5 years, that's more I can count. Yeah, those 5 years are pretty complicated, but to say the least, they are honest 5 years. No one came on my birthday type of vibe. Well, a lot of people... Okay, so there's like a lot of people who came in like earlier. and like, yeah, I think we already know by now that most of my audience is here for typical colors too, and the aisle stuff is like, yeah, all of us have seen it, so it's pretty obvious, like, it's pretty obvious that, that stuff's already out of the way. And okay, but before we get into that, you guys want to get Hispanic communists on the line? To be honest, I plan to make my own aisle movie that's basically based off Ruben Sim style. Alright. It's pretty nice. Sorry, I was taking a shower. Hold on. Hi, shower. Okay. On the serious side. Oh. Okay, yeah, we ran out of your budget, actually. Thank you guys for coming, and it's been, like, great. It's been, like, a great stream. So, catch you guys, like, later, I guess.